So I did a thing. We got us a minivan. I finally got the major portion of my disability yesterday. Actually Monday. Today's Wednesday. And I've been looking at cars, but it's really hard these days to find anything under $1,000 that is worth a shit. So I went today and I took a risk on this one. It was a tow company that the person relinquished the vehicle to them so that they would not go into lien. It's a pretty clean minivan. It's an 04 Honda Odyssey, and it hesitates when you first accelerate, but that clears up as you go down the road, and it shifts very well. It did good on the freeway. The AC blows cold. It's not overheating. It seems really solid. The brakes seem good. So I had taken it to AutoZone. She let me do that before I purchased it. And they did the code reader, and it came back with EGR valve. And it also came back with misfires in cylinders 3 and 5 and one other unknown cylinder. So I'm assuming that's because of the EGR valve. So what I'm going to do right now, well, first of all, I ordered a new one off of Amazon already because it was $35 versus $88 at AutoZone. That's an easy enough part to replace myself, and it will probably alleviate the problem in its entirety. The things I'm worried about, the power steering. When I turn the corner, the power steering cuts out. So it's either a bad hose, but it's more than likely the power steering pump, because I've experienced that problem before. So it's one of the things I kind of know when that's going to happen. And so hopefully it isn't that, because the pump is like $80, which is not a big deal, but I don't know about getting to it and changing it. This is a way modern vehicle. Not that I can't work on it, but this is why I don't typically buy more newer vehicles. But here I am. I am tired of having things that break down, and I guess that happens no matter what. But hopefully this turns out to be something good. It does have high mileage. It has like 279,000 miles, but it's a Honda, so that doesn't scare me. And I'm thinking that it probably just needs a tune-up. So I'm going to take the EGR valve out after the car cools down, after the weather cools down, and I will clean that. I already bought like fuel system cleaner. I bought some stuff to scrub. Actually, I think this whole carpet pulls out, so I can probably just wash this in the driveway. So I was just going to clean up the car on the inside and then drive it to the car wash. But I'm super excited. I am hoping that I can take off in it this weekend to go visit my best friend and stay for the 4th of July in San Bernardino. So we'll see. I also need to figure out the battery, because the battery is bad. So if my van battery does not work for this, I have to go check that they're the same size. They should be, because this is a 6-cylinder minivan. This battery has 650 cranking amps. I think mine has 750. So I think it should be okay. It's a top post. It's the same style. Because otherwise that will be a little bit of a problem, because I probably won't have any more money until next week when my next disability check gets here. But anyways, I am going to get to cleaning, and adventures are going to start. Oh, let me explain. I guess I didn't get to that part because I'm so excited about everything else. So adventures begin. So my plan right now is to have this vehicle so that, number one, I have something that saves on gas, so that I can get out there and I can do gig work, and I can, run my errands faster and make it easier on me to make money. And then that way it gives me time to take my time working on the van, because I still can't use my knee all the way. So it's kind of hard to do the work I need to do on the van right now. So I'm thinking I'm just going to put it back in storage, and then I can get to it at a later point, and it's just going to turn into a project. But I need something that is a more reliable, daily, everyday runner. And because also my mental health is really starting to fail, not being able to have a vehicle to go do things with friends or to go out of town, or to just be able to run and get what I need real quick for 5 minutes from the store without having to hop on my bike. And it always takes me 30 minutes, 40 minutes or whatever to go do stuff. Like, I'm a speedy demon. I got to get things done quickly. I'm hustling right now. So I'm going to get to cleaning out the van, and I'll update you guys once it cools down and I get that EGR valve out and see what the status is of that. Time to go grab the vacuum. Bye. Okay, I cleaned the EGR sensor, and I started the van up and the check engine light is not on anymore, so I really am hoping that that's all it was. I'm just checking the lights right now. I'm going to drive it around the block and see if it still hesitates. But so far, the little light was over here flashing, and then there was this other light up here called TCP or something, or TCS, and there's this little button, and I was pushing that button and it wasn't doing anything. I don't know what that's for, but that little light was on up here, and yeah, I don't know what that thing is for, but maybe I solved whatever that issue was too. So I am just gonna, it already sounds better, and since the new EGR valve was only like $30, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it on there, and then I'll keep this one as a backup. And thankfully, my battery from my Dodge fits in here, because the battery, I had it tested at AutoZone. I don't know if I said that already, and the battery's no good. So thankfully, I can use my van battery for now until I can afford another battery for this one. So I'm just gonna go. So it's still hesitating a little, but there's no check engine light, and that TCP light, like I said, is not on. Oh, now here it comes. It came back on. Okay. So, all right, we'll have to change that tomorrow, and hopefully it will go away for good. Or I don't know if you have to reset it. But let's see how it drives around the block. Because there's really not much to that valve, and it's really not that easy to clean it. It's like spring loaded with this little, the end piece, and I couldn't really get that out to spray inside there. I did my best. I didn't want to fuck it up. So yeah, like I'm saying, $30 for the new one. That's no big deal. I'll throw that on there. I don't mind spending that money. But yeah, it's hesitating less though. But that check engine's still on. Okay. Oh yeah, and I have a locksmith guy right here at the corner because I need to get a key made for the doors. There's no key for the doors. But like right now, just driving down the street, it's super smooth. Like it's not jumpy, it's not like shaky. Oh, 2 free weed whackers. My neighbor's always throwing stuff out. Now I have a van so I can go and collect it. Okay, overall, I think it's a solid runner. It definitely needs a tune-up. I am out of cash, though, after buying it, so we'll see. We'll see what I can pull together the rest of the week, so I can get new plugs and wires, and I need to get an oil change, and I need to get the door lock made, and then I need to start the transfer process for registration, so I'm excited though. I'm ready to go on adventures. Yay! Hey everyone, it is the end of another really long day. It is about 6 p.m. on Thursday, the next day, and I've been running around all day. I woke up actually really early today for some reason at like 3 a.m. I think I just have anxiety over buying that new van. So I was like, I'm awake. I may as well try to work. So I tried to finish the little birthday outfit that I am making for my friend's grandbaby that I'm supposed to be going to the party this weekend, which is all dependent on whether or not the Honda will be okay after I change the parts. So I was working on that stuff. Then I had to go out. I had to run errands because it was taking me longer than I thought to finish the baby outfit. I ran into a couple of challenges because I'm working with limited materials right now. And I had to get my Etsy stuff out today. So I left. I went to do those errands. I came back and I think I was doing some other work. I can't remember. I managed to find time to eat. And then my Amazon parts came, the EGR valve and the power steering pump for the Honda. And then I realized that I forgot to get the power steering fluid when I went out earlier. So I had to go back out, which is where I just came back from. I went to AutoZone and man, it was $30 just for power steering fluid. And I hope that that's enough because it's about 1.5 quarts. And when I Google searched it, it said like just over 1 quart, like 1.16 is the full capacity. So I don't know if that counts what goes into the pump. So hopefully I got enough because that was not cheap. And I would have bought it on Amazon because they actually had the Honda branded one and it was less than what I paid. Oh, but those might have been the pints. Yeah, I don't think those were the quarts. Those were probably the pints. They were, I think, $10 on Amazon. So yeah, anyway. We went with the AutoZone brand, but it is the one for Honda, so at least there's that. So I'm going to go and I'm going to sweat it out right now because it's still not quite that cool, but I am impatient. I want to get these parts on there. So at least that way I have peace of mind that I didn't buy myself a lemon, which if I did, I did. It's too late for that now, but I have high hopes. I have a really good feeling. I've been doing a lot of research and this EGR valve thing, like I've already said, is known to give a misfire code. I'm also going to change the spark plugs and the coil, I forgot what they call them, coil igniter, coil things, because they're different on these. It's not like spark plug wires. It's like an electronic. So anyway, that they said can also cause a misfire. So we'll see what happens when I change the valve. If it still is flashing, I have my friend's code reader and we can see if it still says misfire, then it probably is those coil pack. I think that's what they call it. But I won't be able to order those until maybe tomorrow or the next day because I am tapped out of funds for right now. And those are only $80, but I will get those ordered as soon as I can if that is what we need, which we're gonna do that anyways. So, all right, let me get to work. Okay, bye. All right. Got the power steering pump out, but not without making a mess. I was trying to find a way to unhook this hose like from the bottom so that I could drain it out because I didn't have anything like any tubing that I could empty from the top. And that was a fail. I couldn't figure out how to jack up this car because it has a weird frame. I finally got it jacked up a little bit, but as you can see, there's not much clearance and then it's wet from earlier, so that was a challenge. I probably made this harder on myself than I needed to, but the actual power steering pump, which goes here, that came out very easily. So what I'm gonna do now is, as you can see, there is power steering fluid everywhere. Most of it was here originally, but I am going to go in here and spray it down. I spilled some on the belt down there, so I need to clean that up. And then we are going to get the new pump in there and change the EGR valve, which is right over here. Right over here. Okay, as you can see, I am extremely dirty. I am extremely tired. I probably made more work for myself than I needed to with that power steering. It ended up leaking all over the place. I was trying to unhook it from the bottom to avoid the leaking, but there was just no other way around it. Like, it leaked everywhere, and that's fine. I cleaned it all up, and then getting the power steering pump back on, it's not difficult at all, but there's just one bolt that, like, the bolt kind of slides in and out, and then you have a nut that goes on the end, so it's just weird finagling. And of course the bolt fell, and it fell down in between the belts, and I was trying to get it with like the magnetic thing, and it took me about 30 minutes to get it out. Finally, what I ended up doing was loosening the water, not the water pump, the power steering pump the rest of the way so that I could get the belt off, hoping that the screw would fall to the floor. Well, it fell to like the under part of the frame or something. So then I had to get under the car and reach up there. So I got that done. I got that put back on. And then I'm dying of thirst. I got the EGR valve on there and I didn't unhook the battery. And somehow I caused a spark, not once but twice. And I did it yesterday like that and it was fine. So I don't know, but everything seems okay. I started the motor already. And it still sounds rough, but the light is gone. So I'm going to take it for a test drive around the block and see how the power steering handles and how everything else goes. Okay, just made it around the park and we got our light back on. So we're definitely going to, oh, it went off. So it seems like it's intermittent now. It still sounds a little wonky. I'm not sure what that sound is, but it definitely still needs a little bit more work. Good morning. It is Saturday and I am out here working on the van. I am trying to get to the driver's side before the sun comes around and bakes it because when I was washing it the other day, I didn't do the driver's side because it was just so hot that day, and it's already hot out here right now. I think it's like probably reaching 80 or just over 80, and it's going to be like 100 today. So I'm finishing up with cleaning, and I figured out my driver's sliding door because it has dual sliding doors, and the driver's one would not open from the inside, and I had the little child lock thing up on the driver's door was off. I couldn't figure it out, and then I realized that there's actually a little toggle lock on the actual door itself, which is like the child lock thing or to prevent it from opening. So after I switched that, it opened. So I was like, thank God it was something simple, because you know, I don't want to be having to mess with any kind of stuff that's complicated. I also know that one of my back windows, I think it's this driver's side one, the little, it's like electric, and the little thing that turns and opens the wing window is like not functional. So that's really not that important, but that's there and that's broken. So I am doing all of that. I'm going to clean up the motor a little bit. I am going to clean the covers here, which are still sitting here. I'm going to scrub those down really well. They probably don't need painting. They just need to get cleaned up. I am going to take out the air filter and check that. There is a rattling under the van, which I did want to try to get underneath and investigate, but I don't know if I'll be able to get to that before it gets too hot. Maybe I should just try to do that right now. I think that the rattling is probably coming from the catalytic converter. It's probably bad at this point because I don't know how long the person was driving this with the misfires and the engine light on. Or it could just be a loose, you know, something on the muffler is loose, or the heat shield maybe is loose, but that's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like the rattling of like the exhaust. So I got to get under there and I got to check that out, and gonna finish with the detailing and cleanup. Maybe later today I will cut some decals to put on the windows and get it all stickered up with all of my YouTube channels and website and all of that good stuff. But I already mailed my registration off to South Dakota, so we'll see what happens. Well, hopefully it's all good. All right, let me get back to work. I pulled the air filter out and it's pretty nasty. As you can see, there is a lot of debris in there. And I don't know, I didn't see if there's a brand on this, but I'm going to try using the K&N cleaner kit. Thankfully my roommate had it, so I'm borrowing and see. I mean, I know a new filter is not that much, but this looks like a nice high quality filter. It's probably the frickin' original Honda one, so it should be cleanable. Well, here goes nothing. Wow, already just from spraying this, I can see it's starting to turn white on the very top edges where I've been spraying. So I don't know what's in this miracle cleaner. I'm going to Google it and see if I can figure out the formula, because I'm sure this stuff ain't cheap. So I'm going to let this sit, and then I'm going to rinse it out in a bucket of water, and we'll let it dry and see how clean it comes. I mean, any 10, 15, 20 bucks we can save, it's money for gas. it's also worth mentioning that the other side of the filter was like completely white, like clean. So it's weird. So I guess it just traps all the stuff on top. I guess that's the stuff that doesn't go through. So yeah, the other end of it was like almost brand new looking. So I was in here detailing the motor a little bit. I came over here to check on the power steering, and I noticed that it looks wet around the top, and even it looks like there's a puddle. You see that? And when I open the container, it's like almost empty. So now I'm thinking maybe it wasn't the pump, but I checked all of this when I took it apart to change the pump. Before I put the pump on, I checked this container, although I guess I should have like filled it with a liquid to see if it leaked, but I checked it really well because it has some scratches down on the bottom, and I couldn't tell if it was cracked, but it didn't seem like it was cracked in any way. But it could, I guess, be like a hairline thing because it's weird. There's nothing over here like it sprayed out from the pump. It's all from like this container, and these hoses were good. I checked all those hoses, so I guess the container is bad. And I guess it's a good thing I did buy extra power steering fluid. Now I'm gonna have to make a mess again and go buy a new container. I don't know if it's not holding pressure. I don't know what the deal is, but it's almost like it fucking boiled right over the top. Maybe that means that the pressure hose is clogged. I don't know. I guess I'm going to have to look that up because when I drove it, the power steering was fine. It wasn't going out on me when I turned anymore, so I figured it was okay. But I guess it could still have a clog, or maybe it will resolve itself and it needs time. I don't know. I guess I'm going to have to research that one. Good question.